Hey, what's going on, my fellow idiots? Welcome back for another episode of Idiot Proof Cooking. So I find myself in a bit of a predicament. I have way too many sweets and snacks in my cupboard, and I gotta get rid of them. I know. What a terrible, terrible position to be in. So I'm going to make some Blondies today, and I'm going to throw a bunch of different stuff in them and make everything but the kitchen sink Blondies. You can also do this with a brownie or a cookie, but I wanted to make some Blondies today. So let's get into making it. Okay, let's make some Blondies. So we need a large mixing bowl, and in it we're going to add 2 cups of all-purpose flour. From there we're going to add in a teaspoon of baking powder. Next in is a teaspoon of kosher salt. Then we're just going to give this all a good whisking together with our trusty whisk, and then set this bowl aside and get out a second mixing bowl, because now it's time to tackle the sugar, eggs, and butter. In that second mixing bowl, we're going to start off by adding 1 3/4 cup of brown sugar. Then we're going to get out 2 large eggs and just crack them into the sugar. Make sure you don't get any of the shells in, and then break the yolks and mix the eggs in with all of the brown sugar until it's thoroughly combined and nice and ribbony. It's going to look something like this, nice and thick at this point in time. Okay, once you've mixed that together, it's time to add in 2/3 cup of melted unsalted butter, and then a tablespoon of vanilla paste or vanilla extract. As you can see, I'm getting to the bottom of the bottle of my vanilla paste, so I definitely got to buy a new bottle. All you got to do now is use your trusty whisk again to whisk the butter and vanilla in with the sugar and eggs until everything is thoroughly combined. Go get your dry ingredients back, and it's pretty straightforward now. Just dump your wet ingredients in with the dry ingredients, because it's time to mix this all together. Make sure you scrape down the bowl really well with all of your wet ingredients. You want to make sure it gets all in with all the flour and everything like that. And then just use your spatula to mix all of the wet and dry ingredients together until they're thoroughly combined and there's no dry ingredients left over. Now this does thicken up a little bit on you, so maybe use something a little stiffer than a rubber spatula, because as you can see here, I snapped. Snapped is not a word. I snapped my spatula just from mixing the batter together. So use something, stiffer, like a wooden spoon. But anyways, yeah, mix the Blondie batter together until it's thoroughly combined. And then we're going to start adding in some sweets to make these things everything but kitchen sink Blondies. First, add in a 1/4 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. And then I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of roughly crushed Oreo cookie pieces. There we go, get it all in there. Next in is a 1/4 cup of M&Ms. Nice color on those. I think they're going to really stand out. And then for a salty crunch, I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of pretzel sticks that I've just busted in half. And then we're just going to mix these all in until the batter is thoroughly combined with everything, and you got a nice mix throughout all of the Blondie batter. Look at that. Look at that. That is gorgeous looking. All right, so we're going to get ourselves out an 8-inch by 8-inch baking tin, line it with some parchment paper, and all we're going to do now is take the Blondie batter and scoop it into the baking tin and press it out until it's nice and flat. Use your recently broken spatula to smooth it all out, or something else if you didn't break a spatula making these, and make sure it's nice and smooth. And then preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and bake these for the next 35 to 40 minutes until they come out nice and golden brown and just slightly puffy. Look at those. Those look so good. All right, but unfortunately we gotta let them cool down. I always want to get into these right away. Like whatever I bake, I always want to get into right away. But like I say, let them cool down for at least an hour, maybe 2 hours. After 2 hours, you can see it's just sunken in just a tiny little bit. The Blondies have set a little bit more, and they've cooled down. They still have a little bit of residual warmth, but they're cooled down enough to cut into. So let's crack into these, because I can't wait to try them. Just use my Vosteed knife here quickly to cut off the first row of them. It's been a couple of months now with this Vosteed knife. The company Vosteed sent it to me to use on the channel, and I legitimately do like it. It's a really good knife. But you know what, regardless of that, let's cut into these Blondies and try them. All right, interior shot, look at that. You can see the pretzels and some of the M&Ms and the Oreo pieces, and Rose has come to inspect. Wouldn't you be shocked to learn, eh? Yeah, as soon as she saw I was cutting into them, she was ready to try some. And with the first bite, let me tell you, these are awesome. Awesome. And oh, here we go. Let's give Rose a taste test. What does she think? Well, Rosie, yep, there it is. We got the seal of approval, guys. You know they're good. You know they're good. Yeah, Rose is stoked. These were awesome. They were rich, very rich. You know, they had a lot of nice competing flavors in there. The Blondie batter itself was sweet, but then you get the Oreo flavor and the chocolatey flavor with the chocolate chips and the M&Ms. And the pretzels were a nice addition, you know, like a little salty crunch, really contrasts with the super sweetness of this all. These were awesome, just super tasty, and I'm sure you saw in the video, they came together in literally no time. Like, this was lickety-split, super easy. So, you know what, if you have a lot of just ingredients kicking around in your cupboard, why don't you try making these, because I think you'll like them. Let's call it there, though, shall we? I had a lot of fun making these, and I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you did, why don't you drop me a comment, like the video, or even subscribe to the channel. Thanks again for watching Idiot Proof Cooking, and we'll see you again next time.